Hello students, welcome to Vijetha IAS Academy. This is Muhammad Sahbaz Khan, a faculty of economics at Vijetha IAS Academy. I have more than 6 years of experience into teaching and mentoring for civil service aspirants. As per my credential, I have done Master of Finance and Control along with postgraduate diploma in business finance. So in today's lectures, I'll try to discuss the know-how of answer writing for mains. So here, this starts with the know-how of the answer writing. I have made a structure of this or the important pointers to remember for the answer writing for the paper GS3, that is particularly for economy. The first and foremost thing that you have to keep in mind while encountering the question in a examination hall, that is, when the questions come to, first we have to understand. First thing, we have to understand the demand of the question. What exactly UPSC wants you to write on this. Many of the time you might find that students write which is different from what has been asked by the UPSC. It exactly deviates you from getting better marks. So first things you have to keep it, even if you write less points, fine. So rather this is what you have to write in fact the right idea which has been asked by the UPSC. So first thing, or the first and foremost thing important for this answer writing is to understand the question, and after understanding this question you have to meet this demand. Now the another important thing you have to keep in mind, that is structure. So from this structure point of view, the structure has been divided into three. This structure would be like, first part would be introduction, second would be body, and third is conclusion. Into this introduction part, we have to keep in mind this introduction should be catchy, this introduction should be impressive, so that it can attract the attention of examiner at that particular point of time. Fine. So you have to avoid certain thing which is done by the students more frequently, that is, you don't need to repeat the same question into your introduction. Either you can put any idea related to it, anything related to the current affairs, or any facts related to that particular subject matter. From here you can start with your introduction. Now this body part, which is the main part of this answer writing, you have to put all of this idea which you have understood through analysis of the question in a very structured or a very lucid manner. This is what exactly in this examination, this is what I will take a glance on this scheme of this examination. 20 question has been asked from this paper. Fine. So in this 20 question you have a 3 hour allotted for this 20 paper. So per question you have been given 9 minutes. Okay. And in this 9 minutes, 10 question of 150 words and 10 question for 250 words. So you have to divide your time according. Time management exactly the key for this examination. Fine. So in fact the person who is not knowing much about any content can bring a better answers in that particular. So answer writing is a pure skill, and that you have to do it by regular practices. So in a body part you have to put what is being demanded. Fine. Now the second part is what content. This have been understood with respect to the demand. So the content should be direct, even though if you are writing 2-3 less point than other students, but you have to always keep in mind this content should be direct and it should directly hit the demand of the question. In that content part you can make innovation with respect to applying lots of current affairs, lots of data, lots of fact, lots of things you can make with respect to the content enhancement. In fact, this is a very much interdisciplinary field. The question from the economics, you can find idea from social issue, you can relate things with respect to the legal aspect, you can relate things with this from governance aspect, you can relate from this historical. So all of this what exactly put into one things, and you have to make it in a very structured manner. Okay. Now the another important things you will have to keep in mind, that is language and expression. Just you have to keep in mind, guys, this is a means examination, that is subjective paper. This is not MCQ. So UPSC is testing your language also, language and expression. It should be like crisp, and your language shouldn't make much error with respect to the simple grammatical mistakes, because it will create a blunder in the mind of examination. fine, and you will get the less marks. So you have to always keep in mind language and expression is a must, and for that purpose you don't need to become a journalist or a columnist for that particular, for answering UPSC question. No, never. Just you have to keep in mind your language should be lucid. I would say, in other words, it should be like the language written in a NCERT books. You have to follow that particular thing. Now the next aspect, that is presentation and legibility. One thing you have to keep in mind, the efforts the examiner will put to copies will, your answers is a much present, you have presented that answers in a very lucid manner, in a very legible fashion, so that the examiner doesn't take any kind of effort to read that particular word. Should be there, ki examiner can read that particular content we have written on this copy. So presentation and legibility is the key for this answer writing. So you have to keep in mind, first, understanding the demand, the structure, content, language expression and presentation. Along with few things you have to mind. Strategy would be there. What would be there, which will come across in my class itself. You will be given all these matter related. So you have to be updated with facts and figure related to various aspects of the economy, the sectoral contribution of GDP, agriculture, industry, service, employment scenario. Within agriculture, what is contribution of cereal? All these things you have to keep in mind. Along with NPA, bad loans, use these facts and figure to strengthen your argument. Use chart and diagrams wherever possible and avoid overdoing though. Exactly. Have a limited space. Okay. Now for GS3, committee and commission are important. Just you have committee or JEET committee, what they have said with respect to the inflation targeting, you should be keeping in mind all these things. Along with what are the important, or I would say the particular fact related to the Indian economy, which is mostly highlight in the economic survey. So you have to put all this into your answer writing. Along with, you can also do, that is Niti Aayog's 3-year action agenda, you can put into this answer. And also you have to keep yourself updated while visiting Niti Aayog website from time to time. So such things exactly you have to put into this practice, and at this end I would say this answer writing is nothing but the practice. You have to write every day at least 1 or 2 answers. That will make your thought clear, or that will make your, in fact, your knowledge in fact more enhanced by these practices, and you will be getting more marks into this. So stay tuned for more such lectures. Thank you. Thanks a lot.